researching into dreams for a number of years, and I am delighted to give this presentation because this is the first time that I have spoken about this research. In this presentation, I wish to share techniques of dream analysis that I've developed, as well as explaining how and why dreams are vital for emotional healing and good mental health. I had post-traumatic stress disorder for a number of years, so this motivated me to look into the nature of dreams and to see if they could offer a possible insight to why I was so unwell. And then I found this research article and thought, wow. One 2009 study stated, compared with quiet rest and non-REM sleep, REM enhanced the formation of associative networks and the integration of unassociated information. Volunteers that experienced more REM sleep were better equipped for solving problems requiring creative solutions. We sleep in cycles, each lasting about 90 minutes. We go through 3 cycles before hitting REM. The longer we sleep, the more time we spend in REM, which is why we are often dreaming when waking up in the morning. If we sleep less than 7 hours, however, it becomes harder to achieve this level of REM. Memory consolidation is a critical reason for dreaming at all. The combination of sleeping and dreaming acts as an emotional stabilizer. Incredibly, we heal from emotional trauma more quickly when we sleep and dream properly. Dreams were not only a door into my subconscious, but gave me access to memories and emotions that had been forgotten by the conscious. This was one way that I was able to dramatically improve my well-being. By analyzing dreams, it is possible for the conscious to intercept the process to understand what is being tided away. This allows the conscious to have the same information as the subconscious mind, which is invaluable in recovering from the emotional trauma that might not be acknowledged by the conscious. Entering into the world of the subconscious is not for the faint-hearted or for those who are emotionally fragile. My tinnitus just got louder and louder, and there was nothing I could do about it according to the medical professionals. So as one major part of my recovery, I developed a method of dreams were not only a door into my subconscious, but gave my tinnitus just got louder and louder, and there was nothing I could do about it according to the medical professionals. So as one major part of my recovery, I developed a method of analyzing dreams. Analyzing dreams turned out to be hugely successful in the dramatic reduction of the symptoms of tinnitus. In other words, the sound went down. So over the last couple of years, I have developed and refined a process of analyzing dreams where the true meaning of the dream is revealed rather than an imposed interpretation, which can be not useful to emotional healing and well-being. REM may also enhance the processing of emotional memories. There is enhanced recall for emotionally static memories after periods of sleep rich in REM, and several older studies similarly support a role for REM in processing emotional memories. In addition, shortenings of REM latencies and increases in REM densities have been reported in major depression, the state of bereavement, war-related anxiety, and, more generally, post-traumatic stress disorder. In my own experience, imagine that as a child you were actively discouraged not to tidy up or get rid of old, unwanted clutter. Your home would soon be a mess and it would eventually be impossible to find. In my own experience, imagine that as a child you were actively discouraged not to tidy up or get rid of old, unwanted clutter. Your home would soon be a mess and it would eventually be impossible to find anything. When you need something desperately, it would not be available, as it would probably be under a pile of stuff and you would not be able to find it. This is what I experienced when I first had tinnitus. I did not have access to emotions when I needed them, so I could not have the appropriate emotional reaction to whatever was happening around me. This was because of the emotional trauma of my childhood. There can be a number of reasons for this. One reason can be because if trauma happens in childhood, a child may not have the emotional ability to understand what is happening to them. Dream analysis is the conscious recognition of feelings, memories, and emotions that have either been forgotten or unacknowledged. Dreams are a way of the subconscious processing emotions while we sleep. This is like a person who cleans your house while you are sleeping. One advantage is that the conscious does not interfere with this. By analyzing dreams, it is possible for the conscious to see what the emotions are and where they are kept on the timeline of my life. This allows the conscious to have the same information as the subconscious mind, which is invaluable in recovering from emotional trauma that might not have been consciously acknowledged. We can think of dreams as being made of plasticine. This means that the actual dreams themselves can be molded by the subconscious mind. So, for example, when I first began remembering and recording my dreams, I had anything up to 25 short dreams a night. This disturbed my sleep, but writing them down was essential to have low tinnitus the next day. So I found a way of reducing the number of dreams while making each dream bigger and more detailed. From having anything up to 25 short dreams a night, it was possible to have 2, 3, 4 or perhaps 5 larger dreams instead, so I could have enough sleep. Before I slept, I imagined a conveyor belt between the subconscious and the conscious mind. I then imagined lots of little balls of plasticine, which joined together to form larger and a fewer number of dreams. I further imagined that they were put on a conveyor belt which went from the subconscious to the conscious mind. I had fewer dreams, while each was longer and more detailed, which made it easier to analyze and I got more sleep. This meant that the tinnitus was more likely to go down. This provided 100% accuracy to consciously understand what my dreams meant. So now the noun metaphors are the common language between the subconscious and the conscious for both to be able to communicate and understand each other. It is important to be consistent and use the same definition for the same aspect of the dream. It is necessary for you to consider all the characters in your dreams to be different parts of yourself or extensions of your personality. There are times when these parts of yourself are recognizable, while at other times they don't resemble you at all. Nevertheless, these unrecognizable parts help you to obtain a deep understanding of the aspects that make up the subconscious. At this point, it is necessary to describe a character as a part of yourself. For example, if you had a dream about your mother, you would describe her as the adult, female part of you that is responsible for your upbringing and nurturing, if indeed this was the case for you. In my own experience, dreams are mostly reflections of the emotional state of the subconscious. Therefore, in a description of the dream, the nouns are not as important as the verbs, which is why the nouns can be replaced with a noun that has a broader meaning, that still retains the original meaning. At this point, it is important to remember that what may come out in this process may sound slightly unnatural in a sentence. For example, in the dream analysis below, the term big woman is exchanged for big adult female emotional part. In my own experience, dreams are mostly reflect. At my first attempt at dream analysis, the sound delay dramatically reduced in a matter of seconds. This was extremely exciting and motivated me to develop a comprehensive method of analyzing dreams and to further understand how dreams work as emotional metaphors. My then hypnotherapist, David Core, and I were excited about this new discovery, and in time it would give me back some of the quality of life that had been robbed from me by having tinnitus. Here is the dream I had a long time ago. There was a big woman with fair skin and brown hair. She was wearing a black jumper with a gold pattern. For some reason, She was meant to give me a present, but she didn't. I was really upset. Then she gave me a present and a hug. The present was a kit in a green plastic tray with compartments in a box. It had little bundles of different colors of wool and a pair of orange knitting needles. It was meant for a person to knit different tiny animals with instructions. And so now the nouns have been replaced with definitions that describe emotions. This means that we can understand what emotional message the dream contains. When this is done daily, it becomes possible to get a full picture of the issues the subconscious mind needs to express. From my experience, dream analysis is a lot more effective than psychotherapy because it gets straight to the heart of the issue. I have tried both methods. If dream analysis is done correctly, dreams form a bridge between the subconscious mind and the conscious. Dream analysis is a powerful tool for good mental health. This is a subject that the medical professionals have yet to understand.